On, it's your man Daniel J, and I'm back with another video. And today I have my lovely mother, my lovely, wonderful, and illustrious mother, Lady Q. Now I just gotta be real with y'all, man. My mom has been a very influential figure in my life. So much so that I've had the opportunity to watch this woman, show me some tips and tricks of life. And today's topic, man, is very important to me. Uh, and to add to the point I made a few seconds ago is because I've seen my mom, in a way, indirectly show this to me, and I wanted to ask.
What did I show you? That's what I want to know.
And I wanted to ask certain questions pertaining to this. And the topic that I've chosen is none other than confidence.
Okay.
None other than confidence. And the reason why I chose that is because, again, it's very important to me. And I figured for my viewers, to help you guys out, this could be something that we can dive into and hopefully take something from it. So let's get down to it. First of all, Mama, what is confidence to you?
The ability to bet on yourself that you're going to win even when you lose, and to make sure that you put your best foot forward, regardless of whatever the situation is.
Okay, okay. And so,
And that's not the dictionary point of view. That's my point of view.
and hey, we respect it all the more because it's coming from a perspective that's authentic and it's real, and I respect that and I admire that. And we don't need dictionary definition. Dictionary not even here, so let's
Okay.
not even worry about that. Um, so with that being said, were there ever moments where you struggled with confidence?
There's there's always moments where you struggle with confidence, but I like to have a private struggle. It's never going to be public because of the situation, that you cannot lay all your cards at the table in public. It's almost like The Gambler. That's like one of my favorite songs when I'm making a decision.
Yes.
And you got to know when to hold it and know when to fold it. You need to know when to walk and know when to run away. And you never count your money when the cards are on the table. So basically, that's saying to me with the level of confidence is that even if I'm a little bit unsure, you never let somebody see it. I used to have this guy. He was my regional director when I worked for Bojangles in North Carolina, and I believe his first name was Billy, but I can't remember his last name. But one of the things he told me in 2001, he said, never ever let them see you sweat. So whatever the situation may be, you never let anyone, even if they're close to you, see them sweat. Because even with raising you all, there were times where I wasn't necessarily confident in what the outcome would come, but I knew that looking into their eyes, I had to assert that level of confidence so that they know that whatever happens, we good. And you can attest to this. I would tell you, you never worry unless I'm worried. If I'm worried, that's when you worry. But as long as I'm calm, everything good. When I get frazzled, I know how to turn it upside down and right side up again. But in that confidence, you got to know who you are and who you belong to. And I used to tell you that every day. Don't forget who you are and who you belong to. And as a child of the Most High, I know that whatever the situation may be, good, bad, or indifferent, if I lose, I still win. Because I'm thinking back on something that happened to me where I did not like the outcome of it, but looking back over time, it was the best outcome possible because I'm still winning. Even though it looked like I was losing, I actually won a whole lot through the situation of not having. And speaking about that, one of my favorite uncles, he used to always say, you can have it on God and God it don't have. And so even with that level of confidence, you got to know to have your confidence and you got to know to got the confidence. And I know that's not correct grammar, but I was raised old school, and sometimes we just don't use the proper grammar, but we know what we're talking about.
Well, hey, as long as you know what you're talking about, Mama, and who else is listening to you knows that you know what you're talking about, that's what matters. And again, one of the things that I love and I admire is that you're real. Because let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something about my mom. This is one of the best things, in my opinion, that I feel that she's shown time and time again, right? And this is something that's kind of not really as popular, I feel like, especially today, and that is being authentic and being real. Like, for instance, when I was visiting, like my uncle, for instance, I said this to him. I said, and he even agreed with me. He said that, my mom, good, better, or indifferent, she will speak her mind and she'll tell you what she's feeling about certain things, and she'll do it sometimes with a smile on her face. And I admire that because I mean some folks, man, you just gotta, I guess, try to figure out and finagle and all that stuff. But for me, like whenever I would like hear my mom talk about certain topics, uh, and you know, it can be sometimes where I might not like the delivery and I might not like her answer, but I gotta respect it because I mean it's real, and she's speaking from a place of like authenticity, which is something that I feel like, in my opinion, is very rare, and there's no faking it, like it's, I mean, what's realer than real, you know what I mean? So that's something that I admire, um, and I appreciate you sharing your stories and sharing your definition of confidence because for me and on my journey, especially to my viewers out there, because my thing is, striving for excellence, right? One of the things that I struggle with, especially like during my younger development years, is confidence. And first of all,
But why would you struggle with confidence when you came from me?
well, I would say this because of, and you know me, I'm an observant dude, and I figured if I didn't either look a certain way, act a certain way, or perform in a certain manner, that I wasn't worthy or able to receive the type of treatment that like see other, like some of my other um, colleagues, or like some of my homeboys, they they got. Like case in point,
Okay.
for me, right? I would see some of my homeboys, in order to enhance their image, and this is to add to my point of confidence. In order to enhance their image in their own way, I would see them, wear earrings and stuff like that. And I can tell you right now, like I've never wore earrings a day in my life. Matter of fact, it was adamant in my mom's house when I was under her roof that she wasn't playing about the earrings thing.
I already had girls.
And
I didn't need you to have earrings in your ear. You
right.
knew who you belonged to. Now I do have earrings. I have a nose ring. Um, but also when you look at earrings, what it means, or even rings itself, it means that you belong to that particular individual or that particular brand or that particular label. Now I will say this. You already know that you belong to me. I was a trustee that God has given you under my leadership because, we always like to joke about me being a good shepherd and you all my sheep. But at the same token, I was trying to show you leadership so that when you have a family and a household, you'll be able to govern yourself accordingly and to govern your household to be that leader. I didn't need you to walk around with no earring because if you came from me, even if you wasn't like someone else, you were like who you are. And who you are is equally important. That's why I will
Right.
tell you, I did not buy you name brand shoes. Anytime that you got the name brand shoes, somebody else gave them to you. But I wouldn't buy it because I felt like our name was equally important. And so I'm not going to spend more money on somebody else's name and somebody else's brand that I put into myself. And I'm still like that to this day.
Right.
You know, I get shoes, no say good quality for myself.
Right.
I don't worry about the image that other people want me to have and don't have or what have you. I look at what I like. And sometimes I ask you all what you like, if it, you know, if it look nice or what have you, because I want to have a second opinion. But the overall confidence is that I don't have to walk around with designer labels to say that I am somebody. I am somebody because of my bloodline. I come from a good family, and so do you. And in coming from a good family, and that means that you will have a good family, but you got to make sure that everyone is adjusted accordingly. And there's some imperfections that I do have. You know, like right now I'm just stressed down because I was supposed to go to the gym, but I had a whole lot of stuff going on here, and in the background I found the unction, if you will, to want to clean a particular area. So I'm cleaning, but I obligated myself to 12 p.m. so that I could talk to him, which is the top of the hour, and whatever he wanted to talk about, we were going to do it, even though I just found out that it was by confidence. And I'm confident even with not being all the way put together, because when I want to put it together, I can. But right now, my duties are accordingly to do my housework, and you don't get dressed up to do housework. That's just stupid. Some people might do it, but I'm not. You know, I'm just a country gal that have been blessed with a lot of different things, in the good, bad, and indifferent, and living a simple, quiet life. That gives me confidence. Like for instance, when you was 4 years old, you taught me a scripture I didn't even know was in there, and it was First Thessalonians chapter 4. I think it was 9 through 13. It says, live a quiet life and work with your hands so that you won't be dependent upon people. And when you taught that to me at 4 years old and I looked it up, I was surprised it was in there. And so even if I'm not having a confident day, I can be confident and know that as long as I work with my hands and live a quiet life, then I'm not bothering anybody, nobody will bother me.
Right.
And people will try now. People will try you.
They will.
But overall, if they can't get to you because you live in a quiet life and they don't know how to, then you have confidence in knowing that that works for you.
Right. And the reason why I brought that particular situation up, one, because it's something that's just the tip of the iceberg of my experience and what I've seen. But even with that example with the earrings thing, one of the things I've learned is that, you know, just because they're doing it doesn't mean I have to conform to it. Not only that, you know, as I got older, as I started maturing, you know, certain things were turning around for me, and I was beginning to get better treatment of my own. Matter of fact, you know, I can honestly say, you know, I've gotten some bad women without earrings ever being in my ears. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like one of the reasons I was able to is because, you know what I'm saying, I just learned to do without certain things, which also adds to my own confidence, because, you know what, man, I'm a simple dude. I come from, you know, humble beginnings, and my mom, she comes from very humble beginnings as well.
Born and raised across the track.
You know, I've been taught and still being taught, you know, to just do without certain things. And I feel like my real value is learning how to not only do without certain things, but to kind of improvise and be like, okay, well, I ain't got this. Okay, what do I have to, in a way, compensate for that?
Why would you want to compensate for what you don't have?
Well, I mean, for me, the long and short of it is because that's what I feel like I ought to do in order to get a particular result. And one of the things I've learned is that, especially being on this journey, is that, you know, in order to get certain results, you have to, you know, do certain things. And with that being said, you know, there comes some downsides as to anything, but there also comes some very, very great benefits.
Now, I probably should put it out there that even though I did not allow him to have earrings, and I think a little bit of it could have been too. I had so many girls in the house that I really just wanted to have my son. And there's not to say that if you have earrings in your ear that you will be a certain type of way. It just for me in my house, he wasn't gonna do it. Now I will say this, that I'm married to a man who got 2 earrings in. Did you know that? He got holes in his ear.
I did not know that. I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, that's why I said I didn't even know what the topic would be. But I've never seen him in earrings, and that was before me. So I don't know. We've never had that discussion. Now since you bring it up, I think that'd be something to talk about. That's worthy. But I just know that when I was raising you, I wasn't gonna allow you to have it in your ear because of what I thought about your life and where I wanted to be. You know, because I always have a nickname for you. So, and in my head, for that particular nickname, I didn't see that for you.
And what's so funny? I just thought of this just now, because Daniel J, your man Daniel J. I'm a huge nerd, and I don't care, man. That is something that has been one of my first loves ever since I was a youngin. You know what I'm saying? I love comic books, anime, that sort of thing.
And Olivia do too. So.
My one of my youngest sisters, she does as well. And what's so interesting when I brought up the earrings topic, my heroes, some of my favorite heroes, now that I think about it, I've never really seen them wear earrings. Like one of which I'm repping right now is my favorite, the Amazing Spider-Man. And this guy right here, he's one of the most confident superheroes I've ever known. Especially when he puts on that costume and when he puts on that mask. Dude, I mean, just cracking jokes on his villains. That's actually how he helps to get the win over them, is by cracking jokes and being kind of nonchalant, But anyway, I've never seen this dude wear earrings, but I've also seen him exude confidence to the best of his ability, and he has gotten with some bad women in the comics, man. So, and I bring up the confidence thing. I bring up the confidence topic is because it's not only important, but I feel like when you have that confidence, to me, that's a sort of an energy of self-assurance and
self-awareness.
And self-awareness too, that you got it made in your own right and in your own lane, and that you're good by knowing that, and if you want to be better, just by accepting that and owning it to the best of your ability. And
you got to know yourself,
right? And how you do. There's a quote: "How you do anything is
how you do everything."
Well, I was gonna say how you do anything is how you do everything.
Okay.
But yeah, it's real. And what I've learned is that behind that comes that confidence, because like, and when you operate in that realm, you will not only get a certain vibe from it, but others can tell it as well. Others can feel it too. And I wanted to ask you this, right? You being, my mom and stuff like that, and I just want to ask you from a woman's standpoint, right? When you see a man just out in the open, and he's just confident in the way he walks, the way he talks, how he operates, the way he performs, how he works, and all that stuff, what is that? And this is for my guys, because my channel is mainly guys. What is that signal to you, and what is that? What message does that communicate to you?
Like for instance, I'm married now, and I remember when I first saw my husband, he was minding his own business. He was in the corner of the gym just working out, and when I saw him, it was like that confidence. It was like, I just want to get to know him. And even though we were so far away, it almost sounded like I said it to him, and he walked closer to me. And as he walked to me, he asked me a question. And because of the question, he had to be very confident in asking. It was a basic question, But it was so basic that you had to be very confident to ask that, because it wasn't like he was trying to impress me or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He was just being himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw that, and then it was like he asked that question, and I almost didn't answer him because it was so basic, and you got to be kind of question how you kind of careful how you answer a person, and the Spirit was like, answer him. And so I did. And so we was, from that day and that question, we was together ever since.
Right.
Because of his level of confidence. And then I remember as we were courting, because you only date just to get information, but if you're courting, you're being in preparation to build upon a life together. And so in the courtship, I remember asking him this one question that I've asked, well, two questions, matter of fact, that I asked other men. And one of the questions they would have told me that would have probably turned me, well, I know it would have turned me completely off. Because you have to stay in your own lane and know who you are. And when I asked him that one question, it was like, this is who I am, accept it or don't.
Right.
But it wasn't put in a rude way. And then that second question that I asked him was something, he answered the question and walked off. He walked off and went to what he was going to do. I said, goodness, he didn't even think about it in terms of how most people would have hem and haw over that basic question. He was like, yeah, and he walked off of me and did what he had to do. And I was left standing there like, are you for real? But it actually helped me to see his level of confidence and the fact that he didn't see me like most people would have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, when you have children, most people would saw me just as your mom, but they wouldn't see the lady or the woman in me,
Right.
or as a title or whatever it is that I do for a living, you know. But he saw me as a woman and as a lady.
Right.
And he was confident in that, and he was confident that he was confident in himself. Right. And so it made me confident in him, even though I was getting to know him, because he didn't show me where I could intimidate him. Because at times, I will say that in certain arenas, I could intimidate men. I don't want to. That's not something that I strive to do. Because I love being a lady. Don't get me wrong. I love that. And really, if I knew we were talking like this, I would have been all the way put together. But he didn't tell me.
You're all
but
right, Mama.
Oh yeah, I am. I still want to have this conversation with you. And so, you can receive it well or don't. But the thing is... But
the message will still get out there.
Yeah.
Trust and believe that.
What I loved about him was that he came to me as a man. He stood in front of me as a man. And even when I asked him that question, he walked away as a man. And he didn't care about the question, because at the end of the day, he's a man.
Right. And I'm glad that you gave that response and being as authentic as, with that response as you are in your other facets of your life. And just being authentic. Because a good part of confidence is being authentic in who you are. And for my fellas out there, man, who are, maybe struggling with that confidence, man, on my channel, I give several tips on how you can help to build your confidence. One of which is what I practice too, and that is being in tune with your physical fitness, taking care of your body game, as a popular YouTuber would call it. And when I started to put that into practice, I noticed the benefits of that, like the fact that I'm able to perform in such a way to where I feel better. I feel like I feel invincible, you know what I'm saying, in a way. And I know that it's earned, it wasn't given to me, and I'm still earning it, and it's still a journey. And not only that, but like taking care of your hygiene. That's very important. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because
I smell like $1 million right now.
Same as me. Same as me.
Yeah.
And
you don't look like this.
I will give it to some guys out there. Now, this goes against the hygiene thing, which you have taught me the importance of, right? I've seen some guys, they be draped up, dripped out, and some of them got grills or diamonds in their mouth. But I'm like, dude, you smell bad, man. You funky. How you gonna walk out there, but and I'll give them this. They are confident. Like, I mean, they just gunning it. And I'm like, you don't care, and some of them
They may not know.
or some of them may know it, but still they gunning for it, which in a sense I can respect. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
almost like that person was on TV or YouTube stating that before they got veneers, they didn't know they were supposed to brush their teeth every day. How the hell do you not know that you're supposed to take care of that basic function? And
that's just the iceberg, Mom.
but the only reason why you thought to do it is because you got fake teeth in your mouth. A lot of people don't realize that veneers is fake teeth, and they have to shave down your teeth. Now, speaking of that, one of the things that I would encourage a person to have is confidence. Whatever your flaw may be, just realize that somebody would love to be in your shoe. Mm-hmm. Because even if you don't have the longest hair, somebody would love to have long hair. If you don't have the nicest looking hair, somebody, like, I gotta get my hair done. But guess what? I will get it done when I feel like it, and when I really need to do it. Or I can do it myself because I'm licensed, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But I will say this. You have to do things on your own terms sometimes. You can't go
against the grain?
No, I don't think I necessarily go against the grain, but I go within myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm not getting ready to do something against myself.
Right.
Because when you do something against yourself, you'll never win. But as long as I'm in tune with nature and in tune with who I am and what I want to project out there, like my level of confidence, then you're going to feel it too. But if I want to borrow that confidence, like from you, and say, oh, okay, because I love your dark skin. I think your dark skin is so amazing, and I wish I was dark skinned too. However, that's not the skin God put me in. Mm. So I have to be in this particular skin, doing the best I can.
Yeah, and with guys, man, because I see this all the time, man. Guys, I would see guys who I would think, man, this dude got it made, man. But it's like, I mean, he could be, shoot, he could be the most jacked. He could be doing his thing, being successful, being short, tall, whatever. And I'm like, the one of the things you're missing, brother, is that confidence, man. Because again, how you do anything is how you do everything. And you pointed out, like, especially when it comes to women, because they can sense that energy, like when you're confident and when you're not, because it's how you do certain things. It's how you talk. Like, it could be something as simple as like your voice intonation, like how you pronounce certain words, your body language. You know what I'm saying? How you move, how you how you walk. You know what I'm saying? It's that energy, man. It's that energy, man.
That's my son, y'all.
And I mean, you just gotta exude that, and you just gotta know, man. And me, Dana J, man, my thing is, when it comes to ladies, I just like what I like, and I like them. And anyone who really knows me knows that I like them. I love women is because I come from a house full of women. When my mom was not married, right? But my point being is that Dana J, man, I love them all, man. Like short, tall, what have you. And one of the things I've loved is that how they receive me and how they receive the confidence that I exude. But I just want to make this point clear, that I haven't always had it the way y'all see me have it now and going forward. There have been some tests and trials that I've had to overcome, and by the grace of the Most High, I'm still here, and I'm still, I'm still hooking and jabbing, to the best of my ability, But, one of the things is confidence, and it's that self-assurance that, hey, I'm the best thing since sliced bread in my own way, and I'm getting better. And one of the things about it, I feel like, with this confidence thing is like having the will and the desire to present your best self.
Can I show you something that I do privately to myself in the mirror? Okay, and even like if I'm teaching like parenting classes and so forth, and someone has a problem with confidence, one of the homework assignments that I normally give, I'm an unorthodox educator too. One of the homework assignments that I give is that you have to show love to yourself. And you have to do that on a daily basis until it becomes real. So one of the things on my very first homework assignment that I would encourage you all to do if you lack any type of self-confidence is to stand in the mirror, and you can be in there by yourself, close the door, or if you want to have the door open, it don't matter to me. But then I want you to take your loving arms and embrace yourself and say, girl, or sir, or whatever you want to call yourself, or by your name. I just love me some me, and I take it. I just ooh wee. I just hold and love on myself and give myself a hug, and sometimes I just can you tell I love me, and I love me some me. And so I would do that to myself anytime I would be lacking confidence in whatever the situation. And I say, girl, you got to go on. Only thing you got to do is you got to act like it. Act like you love you. Because if you act like you love you, then other people who are around you going to love you.
Yeah, and not only that, too, with that being said, I feel like a part of that self-love and what contributes to that confidence is also sacrifice. Like, if I love myself and I say I love myself, then this is coming from your man Daniel J. This is my personal opinion. I feel like I gotta sacrifice certain things that may be detrimental or harmful to me and to the process of my progress. And
let's revisit that.
Okay.
Because those are two different things in the level of confidence. Because sometimes having confidence don't require sacrifice.
Okay.
You can have a level of confidence because, like I'm saying, going to the mirror and hugging yourself, nobody's gonna know that you've done that. If I didn't expose it,
that is true. Yes.
No one would have known that that's one of the practices I do for myself, or that I encourage other people to do as well. But when you have confidence, confidence comes from within. Mm-hmm. You can't shit no shit. No matter how you try to do it. I apologize. Especially when it comes to confidence.
Mama, don't apologize. Because again,
but you're not supposed to be a lady. I ain't supposed to be saying
Mama,
it.
well, before you... Mama, well, and for my guys out there, you know what I'm saying? This is one of the things that I had to realize. And it goes back to that authenticity, which I appreciated. And I feel like my viewers, they're going to appreciate this too. Because it's real, man. It doesn't get no... Well... It kind of gets realer than this, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got nothing to be sorry for because, you know what I'm saying, it's authentic and it's real. And besides, before she was my mom, she was a young lady who has grown into an amazing woman. So, I mean, mama, like, come on now.
Yeah,
I mean, and sometimes you got to be real. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you pointed this out too earlier. You know what I'm saying? Because folks will try you. And this is one of the things I've learned, too, on this journey of, like, manhood and stuff like that, especially being confident, right? If you consider yourself confident, you say you're confident, just know that you will be tried and you will be tested. And I know this because I've been tested. And so sometimes, hey, it causes you to rise to the occasion, and you know what I'm saying?
And occasion will rise.
Yeah. And you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, just do the best you can. And if you need to revisit certain things, then that may be the case. But, you know what I'm saying, just come back next time swinging. And so, you know, just...
It's time to wrap up. Okay.
But, you know, just know that you're loved and just loving yourself and doing the things that you need to in order to just be the best you. You know, and we'll end with this. Confidence, man. Confidence for my guys out there is a very big game changer. I don't care what you have at your disposal. You know what I'm saying? For example, me, I was 200 pounds at one point. You know what I'm saying? That's grown man weight. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm over that. I'm still with my handsome son on this video.
And yeah, I was 5'10", 200 pounds, and now I'm 171. But one of the things I've learned too is that regardless of the weight, what mattered truly is how I carried it. And when I was 200 pounds, I carried it well. Now me being 171, I'm still carrying it well. Matter of fact, I got the sneakers on, you know what I'm saying? I got the white Spider-Man shirt with the shorts, you know, I'm laid back, dripped out in my own way, smelling good, you know, and that's just that confidence. And that's just me knowing who I am, knowing who who I belong to, and knowing the God-given potential that I have within me. And for my guys out there, I'll say this: